Once upon a time, beneath a silver moon and a sky full of quiet stars, there stood a tiny cottage at the edge of the whispering forest. Inside that cottage lived a small white rabbit named Luna. She had long floppy ears, a soft cream scarf wrapped around her neck, and a tiny lantern she carried everywhere she went. She loved the nighttime more than anyone else in the village. While others closed their curtains when darkness arrived, Luna opened her window wider to hear the wind sing through the trees. And every night, floating quietly beside her, was her tiny spirit friend, Mist. Mist glowed with a soft blue light and drifted gently through the air like moonlit smoke. The villagers were afraid of the whispering forest. They said strange things lived there, shadow creatures, lost spirits, and glowing eyes that watched travelers from the darkness. But Luna was never afraid of stories, until the night the footprints appeared. It began just after midnight. Luna had been reading beside her lantern when Mist suddenly floated toward the window. The tiny spirit trembled nervously. Outside, something shimmered across the grass. Luna stepped closer. There, glowing softly beneath the moonlight, was a trail of silver footprints leading toward the forest. They sparkled like tiny stars pressed into the earth. Mist immediately shook his head. No. His little glowing eyes widened with fear. But Luna's curiosity was stronger than her fear. She grabbed her lantern, wrapped her scarf tighter, and stepped outside into the cold night air. The footprints continued ahead, disappearing between the dark trees. Mist floated close behind her as they entered the forest. The deeper they walked, the quieter the world became. Even the wind seemed to disappear. Tall black trees stretched endlessly above them, while pale fog curled around their feet. Luna lifted her lantern higher. The silver footprints still glowed ahead, step after step after step. Then suddenly, snap. A branch cracked somewhere in the darkness. Mist hid behind Luna instantly. The tiny spirit's glow flickered nervously. Luna turned slowly. Nothing. Only trees and fog. Then she saw them. Two glowing amber eyes, staring from deep within the shadows. Her heart stopped. The eyes vanished. Mist tugged desperately at Luna's scarf, begging her to leave. But before Luna could answer, a dark figure appeared high above them on a cliff between the trees. A tall black fox. Its long cloak moved silently in the wind. Its glowing amber eyes watched them, without blinking. The villagers had spoken of this creature before. The shadow fox, Brim. Mist let out a frightened squeak. Luna stepped backward carefully. Brim said nothing. He simply stared down at them from the cliff, beneath the giant moon. Then suddenly, he disappeared. The forest became silent again. "Run," whispered Luna. And they did. Luna sprinted through the forest, while Mist floated beside her as fast as he could. Branches whipped past them. Fog swirled wildly. And somewhere behind them, shadows moved between the trees, watching, following, hunting. Luna's lantern shook violently in her hands. Then she noticed something strange. The silver footprints had returned, only now they were leading somewhere deeper, toward the oldest part of the forest, toward a giant ancient tree, larger than any Luna had ever seen. Its enormous roots twisted across the ground like stone serpents, and hidden beneath those roots was a glowing door. Luna stared in amazement. Ancient blue symbols shimmered across the stone surface. Mist floated backward nervously. "No! No!" But Luna slowly reached toward the door. Suddenly, a dark figure landed silently between her and the entrance. Brim. Mist hid immediately behind Luna again. The shadow fox stood tall and still, his glowing eyes fixed on the rabbit. For the first time, Luna saw something unexpected in those eyes. Not anger, not cruelty. Fear. Brim slowly shook his head, as if warning her, as if begging her not to open the door. But before anyone could speak, the ground trembled. A low rumbling echoed beneath the forest. The glowing symbols on the door began to crack. Dark smoke leaked from the edges. Mist gasped in horror. Brim turned instantly toward the door. Then Luna realized something terrifying. Brim was not guarding the door to keep them trapped outside. He was guarding something inside. The stone entrance slowly opened. A freezing wind rushed outward. Luna held her lantern tightly as they stepped into the darkness below. Deep beneath the forest, hidden far underground, they discovered a giant glowing chamber. Silver light floated through the air like stars drifting underwater. And in the center of the chamber slept a massive moon spirit. Its enormous glowing body pulsed softly with fading light. Mist stared in wonder. Luna could barely breathe. The entire cavern felt alive. But then she noticed the cracks. Dark shadows were spreading beneath the spirit. Black smoke crawled across the floor like living creatures. The moon spirit was weakening, and something terrible was escaping from below it. Suddenly, shadow creatures burst from the darkness. Twisted shapes with glowing eyes climbed upward from the cracks. Mist screamed. Luna stumbled backward, but Brim stepped forward immediately. The shadow fox spread his cloak as silver light burst around him. The creatures hissed violently. Brim fought them back, protecting Luna and Mist from the darkness. And finally, Luna understood the truth. Brim was never the monster from the stories. He was the guardian. For years, he had protected the sleeping moon spirit while the village feared him from afar. Alone, forgotten, misunderstood. The silver footprints had not been a trap. They had been a message, a cry for help. The moon spirit was dying, and Brim could not protect it forever by himself. Luna slowly stepped beside the shadow fox. Mist floated beside her. Together, the three of them faced the darkness spreading beneath the chamber. Luna raised her lantern high. Its warm golden light mixed with the spirit's silver glow. The chamber trembled violently. Then, slowly, the darkness began to retreat. The shadow creatures faded back into the cracks below, and the moon spirit's light grew brighter once again. Peace returned to the chamber, soft, quiet, warm. Brim lowered his head silently. For the first time, the terrifying shadow fox no longer looked frightening. He simply looked tired, lonely. Luna smiled gently, then, very carefully, she held out her paw. After a long silence, Brim accepted it, and high above the forest, dawn finally arrived. Golden sunlight spilled through the trees as Luna, Mist and Brim walked together back toward the edge of the forest. The silver footprints slowly faded behind them, gone forever. The villagers would still whisper stories about the shadow fox, but Luna now knew the truth. Sometimes the creatures people fear the most are the ones protecting them from the darkness they cannot see. And from that night onward, whenever the moon shined brightest above the whispering forest, three shadows could sometimes be seen walking together beneath the trees. A tiny rabbit, a glowing spirit, and a silent fox with amber eyes. The end.